Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Game 2 of Orange Esports versus Rattlesnake. Rattlesnake 0-2 in Group B, looking just to get a win on the board. They now
0-3, right?
Oh, excuse me, 0-3. Yeah, really struggling in Group B. And Orange Esports 2-0, looking to be 3-0. If they win this game, they will be tied for first place with Team DK, which sets up a fantastic finale to Group B. It would then be Orange Esports versus DK, your final match of Group B, to decide who's first place, to decide who goes straight into that round of 4. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Lumi, it's now time for Game 2. Orange Esports, they took that Game 1 off of Rattlesnake, but I felt Rattlesnake actually played pretty well in defeat, better than what they've done in past days. But end of the day, it was still a losing effort, albeit a strong and valiant losing effort. Can they put a win on the board here?
I feel that Rattlesnake actually played better than Orange Esports. It's just that one team fight and Lone Druid. If you one team fight, you get a Rex.
They did have some questionable trades, like trying to trade fights for Lone Druid base race. Normally not a good idea.
Yeah, that's when they were kind of on the ropes, and maybe they didn't take the best decision because they were facing down so much pressure. But Rattlesnake's gonna have the first pick here, and they have a wide choice of first picks. I think Clockwork is one of their go-to heroes, but at the same time, Visage has definitely been the most effective heroes for both teams. So I expect that to be the first pick.
Seems like neither team really likes to first pick him, though. I mean, they'll take him with, like, if they have second pick, they'll take him as one of their 2, but we haven't seen too many Visage first picks. For Orange, it's often things like the Shadow Demon, the Gyrocopter. Speaking of which, Gyro is in the pool now, and Rattlesnake last game banned out 4 or 5 Mushi heroes. We saw the OD getting banned, the Gyrocopter getting banned, the Queen of Pain as well, and I think there may have been one other arguably Mushi hero. But will they try and grab it earlier this game, trying to anticipate Rattlesnake's draft strategy? We will see. One hero who was banned in the first stage last game by Rattlesnake, I believe it was by Rattlesnake, the Nyx Assassin. They will first pick him. He does slip through.
Yep. If Orange Esports picks Extinct Visage, I'm going to call it done. We could just close the curtains,
GG,
shut
go
down
next.
the stream.
Oh, man.
The series is over, and Orange is still going to sweep, because I have not seen Extinct actually lose a game with Visage yet.
Well, the only thing... The only thing worse than a Luminous prediction is an LD prediction. I think I was like 0-8 in the G1 League, the G1 League LAN finals. So, Lumi, you were actually pretty good with your predictions. So,
I was.
Until the finals. The finals, we switch roles.
Right. I mean, your predictions are 0-8 because you have Mineski and Dreams on your Eastern qualifiers.
Yeah, even my Eastern qualifiers were hard.
That was like, I don't know what the hell you were smoking when you made those predictions, but
lots for Dreams, lots for Jules, lots for all the Pinoy teams, because they're struggling, Lumi. They really are. But we'll see a Gyrocopter, a Visage here. Your Malaysian sensations, Orange Esports, they are not.
We are done, so
they are not struggling. They get the Mushi Gyro. I like that they've taken it early after what Rattlesnake did in Game 1. They'll make sure they snap that up now before it can be banned in that second stage phase.
Is it a Mushi Gyro though? Because
is it? Yeah, that's true. It doesn't have to be, but I feel like I really like the Mushi Gyro because it's a hero that he seems to understand and just play really well. Because I like Mushi when he plays a solo mid that benefits more from farm. When you put him on something like a Bat Rider, it's not that he's a bad Bat Rider player, but I just don't feel it really suits his style and his strengths.
Yeah, well,
heroes like Gyrocopter, TA, Queen of Pain, heroes you mentioned that can snowball, but also just heroes that can benefit from farming. Mushi will set the tempo of the game, but he also likes to keep his farm up. And on Gyro, it goes a lot further than it does on Bat.
I like him a little bit more on int casters, like Queen of Pain and Puck.
Yeah.
But this particular game, if you go Queen of Pain or Puck or another int caster, Nyx Assassin could park himself mid and
you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, you lose that lane. So it's maybe this particular game, Gyro solo mid is the way to go. But Lifestealer is going to be the second pick up here for Rattlesnake. I already don't like where this is going. I mean, Lifestealer is forgotten, right? Is he forgotten?
He's got some issues nowadays because
he's always had some issues.
Yeah, he used to have the good kind of issues
right.
though. It's like
now he just has issues.
Yeah, he's the popular kid on the block. Everybody wanted him on their team. He was winning all the games. God still thinks he's Imba, but truthfully, this hero, every time I watch him, seems to struggle. And I don't know if that's just coincidence, teams overvaluing him, but open wounds, not that good at level 1. You really need to level it up. You also need to max rage, and so what ends up happening oftentimes is you just don't level Feast until much later. But problem is, that's a lot of your sustain down the drain. Feast is pretty good at level 1, but it scales well, and it's just an ability that generally you wanted to max in the past. So they go for Lifestealer. This now gives them the double melee tri-lane if they don't run the Nyx mid, which I feel is very susceptible to a Gyro Visage +1 tri-lane.
Yeah, Nyx Assassin, though, deceptively plays a lot like a range hero in the tri-lane. It's actually hard to harass him because you harass him, he spikes you, you get stunned. follow Impale, you get another stun, and then that's when Nyx is right on top of you.
That's at the later levels.
Right,
but
like level 2, 3.
Will you get there against Orange? This team loves to first blood or try for it at
I
1 minute.
imagine we're going to see a, well, no, I was going to say Windrunner tri-lane, but looks like they have figured it out. It's actually Windrunner that's doing a ton of work.
I'm actually surprised it's taken this long for Ohio's Windrunner to get a respect ban. Banning Mushi's OD, sure, Mushi plays the hero very well, has had some good performances, but nothing beats those 2 hero shackles on like clockwork, really. Just every time he throws a shackle, hits 2 heroes. As he was dying, it's like a fadeaway jumper. He's like spinning around, just pirouetting all over the place. Like,
and then he buys back.
Yeah, then he buys back, comes back, shackles some more heroes.
Right.
Just, Jesus.
I mean,
so
again,
they ban it, but I feel this is a long overdue just in general against Orange.
You talked about the shackle shot, and again, like what we talked about in the last game, it fits so well what they want to do. The supports like to roam. You park the Windrunner by themselves, and it's hard to actually kill her. We saw multiple times they were going on the Windrunner when there's 1 or 2 supports out of the lane. She just runs away.
Now, normally a Lifestealer tri-lane in the old days could totally punish that because you open wounds her, it gives your support just enough time to get in range to stun her, so even if she wind runs, she's still trapped. But now with open wounds having that short range, if she gets early boots, early phase boots, Nyx can't really zone her out. So I mean, go Sand King here.
Effectively, you could say that Rattlesnake's 4 bans right now are protecting Lifestealer. Because Lifestealer is not going to kill anything when there's 2 Disruption or Astral Imprisonment down.
Yeah.
Weaver's going to dance circles around them, and you talked about the Windrunner beating him in lane, so...
Is Lifestealer good enough to warrant 4 bans to...
Well, he used to be, right?
To set up the hero.
He used to be, right? I think...
I want to talk about something a little bit different. We've talked a lot about the Lifestealer Lumi, but we'll see a Sand King now for RNG Sports, and you look at Rattlesnake's lineup, it could be a Nyx mid. Is Orange maybe keeping that solo mid Sand King in their back pocket as a strategy here? Because KOXY certainly can play Gyrocopter in a pinch.
I think so. I think Sand King is definitely a fine solo mid against even Lifestealer in 1v1 situation. But
yeah, or the Nyx Assassin. Sand King actually does pretty well there because you don't need mana for Caustic Finale.
Yeah. I do want to point out the smarter ban, in my opinion, is the Storm Spirit ban, because Lamb has been shown to play a very good Storm. It combos so well with Lifestealer and Nyx Assassin in terms of kind of putting pressure all over the map. I wonder what's going to be happening here. Maybe Clockwork is going to be picked up here for Rattlesnake.
Yeah, they'll need a vehicle for that Lifestealer. Something like a Queen of Pain, a Templar Assassin, maybe an option, although I feel already have Nyx and Rubik very level-dependent supports, assuming they are supports this game. You probably want a solo mid who's more of a tempo controller. So someone, maybe even towards a Beastmaster, a Magnus. Magnus hasn't been getting picked that much either, ever since the RP nerf, where it now only does, I think, 100 damage at all levels, or at least it's reduced.
50, 100, and 150.
Okay, so average of 100, I guess, across the levels. But it doesn't do the damage it used to, and we just haven't seen that hero get as much play. Also of note is that Battle Crowing is way weaker, and Magnus is kind of fallen off, but I feel a tempo controller like a Magnus, those types of heroes, Rattlesnake really should put one mid. Maybe the Nyx can fill it a pinch, but we'll have to see if they run it as a solo.
I'm kind of hoping for the return of a solo mid Tide, for example. I feel like Tide Hunter might be even a better solo mid compared to a Magnus. He's less reliant on Battle Crow.
He doesn't need a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, he gives you more early game as well, but Tide Hunter's a hero that's somewhat forgotten nowadays, but Rattlesnake's one of those teams that kind of picks weird and go crazy, so maybe we'll also see it. There's a Doombringer in the pool. I just don't think Doom beats Visage, though.
Every time that we see a Doom pick for the past 2 weeks, it's just been this unyielding problem of how do you lane the hero. But RNG Sports, they'll go for something very different here. They'll pick up a Dazzle.
Solo mid Dazzle?
Wow. Interesting choice.
I feel like this is a great hero to have farm on, because you go a quick Medallion, you go quick mech.
It's also worth noting that Shallow Grave got a huge buff in the last patch, and you can now cast on Magic Immune units, which Gyro gets early BKB.
Yep.
Shallow Grave him anyway.
All right, guys, we're seeing a game.
Talk to me, Lumi. Ancient Apparition.
Ancient Apparition is absolutely insane. Well, first of all, we see interesting interaction between Grave and Ancient Apparition Ice Blast. I think Grave wins that war in terms of like 1 kills and 1 protect.
Unless there's an Ags at play.
Well,
with that 18 second Ice Blast.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether this is a solo mid AA. It very well can be. If it's not a solo mid AA, Ancient Apparition's Chilling Touch in a tri-lane, almost as scary as Visage's Soul Assumption. Not as scary, almost as. So, we'll see. Like Kofi, it used to be that Kofi plus Open Wounds is one of the more broken combos. but it's actually really weak right now because Open Wounds is 200 cast range.
Yeah, how do you initiate? You'll need the Rubik, the Nyx Assassin there, and you look at Rattlesnake, such a level 6 lineup. They really want Vendetta, Rubik Spellsteal, and the Ancient Apparition Ultimate. Not bad at the early levels, but that's really where they get scary. Now, so at the same time, you look at RNG Sports, they've got the AoE. They've got the big team fight here with Burrow Strike, Call Down, of course Dazzle, something of a team fight hero just with constant Shadow Wave spam and fantastic Visage. Even though all of his nukes are single target, just the raw amount of damage and control he provides through the familiars, he's something of a team fight hero. But talking more about RNG Esports lineup, is it a solo mid Dazzle? Is it a farming Dazzle? It feels like it probably is. You could run Visage as the farmer in a tri-lane, and then Gyro and another as your 2 solos, but it's feeling like a Dazzle that gets farmed.
Yeah, I think Dazzle getting farmed is a great situation in this game, because I was talking about earlier how Shadow Demon as well as OD just craps on Lifestealer. Dazzle does it even harder because of the Grave. You spend all your time focusing, you use your Open Wounds, you use all of your Rage, and then he gets Graved. And then what do you do after Lifestealer? You switch targets?
And the other nice thing is he's actually good at killing him off as well. They'll go for Templar Assassin now. One of Lifestealer's weaknesses is he's a strength hero with mediocre base armor and mediocre agility gain. So, in fact, the stats gain in general is not that great, but his armor is relatively low. An early Medallion on the Visage, the Dazzle, you already have TA as, you know, your minus armor hero with Meld. They can blow a Lifestealer up in a matter of seconds.
They really can.
You throw the Dazzle ultimate on top of it. Things are looking pretty good here for Orange in the mid game. This is a crafty little lineup, and I guess the centerpiece is going to be the MUSHI Templar Assassin. So I would be absolutely floored if it's not MUSHI taking the reins of that.
And we're going to see a Rattlesnake Tinker. If there was any team picking Tinker in this tournament, I would expect Orange to pick it.
They've got Ohio.
Yeah.
And Ohio's going to play the TA, not MUSHI. Wow.
Solo mid Dazzle. I really think it's a powerful tool that a lot of teams are forgotten about. Kabu's going to be playing Ancient Apparition. Normally I say, oh, Kabu's a 4-player, but you never know with this team.
Things just aren't working for Rattlesnake right now, and I feel they just switched the roles back again. They said, you know what, Kabu, it wasn't working with you on carry. IC was really struggling on support that game. We saw Boots at 12 minutes on Rubik. They're going to switch it up again, and maybe they'll better luck.
I mean, it still could be offensive trial lane, and then you put solo mid. I just don't know.
It could.
It feels like, all right, guys, what do you want to play this game?
Tinker's so awkward in dual lanes and tri lanes, I feel.
No. You try offensive try Lifestealer, and then you put AA mid and Tinker like in a safe lane.
Yeah, Orange are going to run an aggressive tri lane. I'd be pretty surprised if they don't.
Yeah, it's going to be somewhat
especially
awkward.
the way they've been playing lately. So, well, Lumi, we'll see, but we should properly introduce the teams on the side of RNG Sports. You've got your Malaysian sensations. Net going to be handling the Sand King. Ohio taking his talents onto the TA towards the solo mid lane, and well, for the time being, he'll head bottom. But he will be, I imagine, going mid. MUSHI, early Magic Stick. He is most likely going to be in a tri lane here. Extinct on the Visage, and we will have KYXY handling the Gyrocopter. So it actually looks like a tri-lane Dazzle with this early Magic Stick.
And we'll see how that works out. I'm very surprised them to tri-lane the Dazzle because Dazzle very level-dependent hero. But let's quickly introduce Rattlesnake, who are down 1 game in this best-of-3 series. Kabu is going to be playing the Lifestealer, so he is still going to be the one real player this game. Sagamer Neo is going to be handling the Rubik once again. We have Lamb playing Nyx Assassin this one. Icy, as a support, it's going to be playing Ancient Apparition. Last but not least, we have Ludo. Seems like he's going top/Ancients as a Tinker. Or is he going mid? I think he's going mid.
I just want to point out, Lamb is actually starting this game with a Wraith Band on Nyx Assassin. This, I have actually never seen. I have never seen this build before. He'll get some decent stats on the lane, but Nyx Assassin, normally a hero that just rushes the bottle. And I guess with the bottle Chronar's, Lamb figuring getting an early bottle doesn't really help you that much. So he'll start with the Wraith Band here. Unorthodox, but Lamb certainly known to make some unusual builds work. So that's the most interesting thing for me as far as the item pickups go to start this laning stage. He has been pulled a little bit as well, but Lumi, it's tri-lane versus tri-lane right now, and RNG Sports, their tri-lane looks very scary.
Yeah, their tri-lane is also very dependent on levels.
That's true.
So, for example, if MUSHI doesn't get too much... I feel like Dazzle is one of the weakest tri-lane supports, or carry. A little bit better in terms of carry because you could get a lot more last hit, and then... But what is a level 1? Level 1's Shadow Wave is pretty good, but conversely, level 1 Grave, as well as level 1 Poison Touch, one of the worst kind of tri-lane spells. We'll see how they make it work, though.
Well, they do, at the end of the day, have a Dazzle and a Visage. These two heroes have 2 of the better auto attacks in the game. DAZZLE has a really nice fluid animation as well as pretty good damage, so can trade effectively with most heroes, and they'll be trying to chip away here. They did manage to de-ward the lane ward, so Rattlesnake played in the dark. They're going to pull MUSHI in right off the bat. The open wounds follow-up is there. He's going to eat a cold feet to the face. There's no burrow to keep Kabu off of him. Instead, they go in onto Icy. They will get the turnaround, but they may lose more. Kabu giving chase Net, waiting for that burrow cooldown. The lift's going to be there in just a second from Zagam. Net. He's fleeing. He wants to burrow down, but he can't get to the cliff in time. He's going to fall as well. I think they could have saved MUSHI if they had just used the burrow strike on Kabu, but instead they chase for a kill. They give up first blood, and, well, in the end, they pay with a second kill as well. Rattlesnake, they didn't have a good start in Game 1, but Lumi, they're off to a hot one here in Game 2.
Well, we were just saying, you know, Chilling Touch, or sorry, Cold Feet plus Open Wounds is probably one of the worst combo because you have level 2 or 200 cast range or Open Wounds, but Telekinesis Lift is going to be the big key factor. Sure, they could have stunned Kabu, but that was still 2 600 range heroes hammering on a level two armor DAZZLE, so I think he would have went down regardless. It just would have changed who got the kill, and you don't want Kabu to pick up any kills in this particular lane. Look at him, he's level 3. He's got Rage Feast and now Open Wounds, and what is AA gonna pick up for his level 2? That's the big question for me. Unfortunately, he died in the beginning of that fight, so what is this next level double dewarding?
We'll wait a second to find out. That 2-minute rune is about to spawn. Where is it gonna be? Regen rune bottom picked up by Net, most likely. Not gonna accomplish too much there, but Tri-lane obviously not going well for Orange after that first blood, as well as the second follow-up kill. But you look at the 2 solo lanes, and Gyrocopter's farming well, 11 and 6, and solo mid TA doing all right. Lamb's actually beating him. That early Wraith Band seems to be making the difference.
+9 damage. It's some extra armor. It's
still Templar Assassin is hitting for 106 per pop with the fraction up.
That's absolutely true, but I mean, for example, like AEI, he makes a biggest deal about 1 extra damage on the mid lane, and when you have 9 extra, it gets a little bit better. Some creative warding here coming out from Neo.
Oh, I love this. Walks through the trees, places the ward on off the far side, has some fantastic vision. He's going to circle around. He's going to lift MUSHI, throws him back in. Surprise! The burrow is there. MUSHI graves himself in the nick of time. He is cold feeted up, but he should be able to get away. They need one more auto attack. They've got to time it just right. He wands up. He's going to live. What a play by MUSHI. Net is low, however, and Extinct trying to win this fight all by his lonesome. The heal comes through. In the end, they can't get a kill. MUSHI, man, he was dead to rights there. Had no business surviving, yet somehow he does. Yeah,
MUSHI plays so well, but to me that was Kabu actually dropping the ball there. Burrow Strike came in, but you expect the Burrow Strike to come in. You're supposed to Rage dodge that. Unfortunately, he didn't, and then MUSHI survived. If the Rage did not hit Lifestealer, that would have been a dead DAZZLE. 9 times out of 9. Wow. 10 times out of 10.
Still just floored about this early Wraith Band doing so much work on Lamb. He's actually going to throw an Impale out. Ohio tanking the creeps. Lamb still winning the CS battle. Now the Spike Carapace as well continues to go in. Ohio, no cooldown available. He could actually die here if he melds. And then there's an Impale follow-up. There's the Impale. Now he's going to have Refraction. And just in a matter of seconds, Ohio, he's baited it out. He wants to turn it around, but he can't quite get in range. Oh, maybe he can. He's looking for the splash.
Where's the Ferrari?
Find the splash. Oh, I was so excited for a Ferrari moment, Lumi, but well, I won't get it here.
Well, Rune hopefully is going to spawn on top lane for Lamb. No, it's going to be on the bot, and in fact, it's going to be Nessa. Oh, he's going to get this kill, I think. Chilling Touch is going to get casted, and Icy's going to say, hey,
Psych.
If you want a man fight, I'm right here, man.
If you want a man fight, I am actually carrying 2 rock-hard snowballs, and I'm going to break them. This is like when you're having a snowball fight and then someone just like packs some ice into it. It's like, that's not very fun.
That's dirty.
Top lane, we'll see a call down onto Luo. The dive is here, already level 6 on KYX by Luo. Only level 4, can't find the kill. Overextends a little bit and will back off. Man, so much aggression.
Luo's got to back off because right now they can flak off the tower and killed him. And I think Tinker realized it also. He's got a base. So even though Gyrocopter didn't get the kill, he's definitely winning this solo 1v1
I just want to point out KYXY 33 and 11. Lumi, this guy has been winning every single solo matchup I have seen from him for the past. Well, we'll see a Burrow Strike going to miss bottom lane. We'll talk more about that later. MUSHI eats the cold feet, the open wounds as well, but Kabu's dropping low. Net's looking for a 2, maybe 3 hero Burrow. In the end, he won't find anything. It doesn't matter. They still get the kill. RNG Sports completely whiff their initiation, then find the kill anyway. It seems finding the stuns is maybe counterproductive for them.
Yeah, and again, it just shows you that Rattlesnake is not really well accustomed playing this particular trialing. Ancient Aberration's Chilling Touch is got to be casted in the team fight. They were casting as they're running away, which I'm not sure if you guys know, but it doesn't do anything in terms of helping you run. So it was just a wasted spell. Ancient Aberration still died as a result. They need level 6. Like you said, this is a very level 6 dependent lineup here. And Ancient Aberration, if he hits 6, one of the most devastating here on the map, but he's very far away from that. He's always dying. He's 0-2-1 right now.
Yeah, I do want to point out for Rattlesnake, they have a big X factor coming the way. It's going to be Lamb, already level 6 solo mid. Sure, that TA's farming reasonably well, getting some decent rune control going, dropping the traps now, but the Nyx TP completely changes the fight's bottom. The Templar Assassin TP, not so much. So we'll see what Lamb goes for. He's going to guess for this bottom rune. If he finds a big one, it could be the easy answer to all their problems, at least for the tri-lane. Will he? Well, it's going to be an invis. And there's no ward vision of this. But mid lane's pushing in. Not the best time to gank. And it is always the one concern when you run the Nyx solo mid, Lumi, is this hero wants to gank, but it's kind of obvious when he's missing compared to when he's a support, and you can be pulling, you can be in a lot of different places.
Yeah, and he's also gone for a fairly interesting skill build, level 2 on Mana Burn. This is something that you generally don't level up, but you're forced to somewhat level up now in the new Nyx Assassin because, well, it scales a lot better. Or it's
you say forced like it's a problem. it's a good thing, I guess, in some ways. Well, for the time being, Lamb just sitting in that middle lane, not really creating any space for his team. He's gotten this invis room, but...
Oh, it does have a rotation coming out from Tinker. I just don't know how you get the kill, especially when the trap to teleport in is going to come out as well. But the trap is going to be used on the mid lane. Vendetta, where's the open wound? Well, welcome to 6.78 Lifestealer. There's no more 600 cast range. You TP in.
He's even maxing it first.
He also doesn't have mana.
That's the sad part. Yeah, all sorts of, well...
He does have 6-1. Maybe if he got close enough, he would have...
Yeah, maybe he would have popped it then. Net's going to look to ward up the camp, and, well, he'll actually place one in vision of it. Immediately a smoke for Sagan, but this was spotted. Are they going to actually... Net's still waiting. He thinks they can make a go here on Kabu. They'll spring the trap now. The burrow comes through. Kabu once again unable to rage dodge in time, but no follow-up just yet. I got to go back to this top lane, Lumi, and real quick before hopefully there's too much action. We'll see a little bit of a skirmish mid, but KYXY has just been dominating solo lanes left and right for the past 2-3 weeks. I think he's been the most impressive story for this RNG Sports team as of late. You've talked a lot about the supports, but KYXY for a long time was just the sixth man for this team and a backup player. They switched him to the off lane a long time ago, right when they made the roster changes, added Net to the team, as well as Ohio. But KYXY is the one who's really stepped up his game and I feel improved the most and continues to deliver 52 and 15 on that safe lane gyro. Only 8 minutes in. Yeah,
not to take anything away from him, but a lot of it, at least in the games that we saw today, is also been hero matchup advantages.
Oh, we'll see an initiation mid. Ohio's in trouble, lifted up, burned up, and then brought down. A nice little gank from Rattlesnake.
Very well needed here. Neos needs that EXP. Lamb needs definitely the freedom to roam off the map, and he will definitely check for runes right now and start to do so. There is going to be regen rune. If he picks that one up, that's going to be a big boom, but I think Mushi's going to get there a little bit quicker. You know, a nice deny here. Cheeky little play.
Lamb is so sad right now. You have no idea how sad this guy is.
Yeah, he really is. You now have to go all the way back to base. And, well, but yeah, back to KYXY. He has the matchup advantage. Lone Drew versus Clockwork, and now Tinker losing to a
That's fair, but he's also crushing these matchups like as hard as you possibly can.
He understands these solo matchup very well, and you expect an offlane player of his caliber to do it. Meanwhile, Net trying to burrow strike. Now Rage a little bit too early.
No.
Kabu.
No initiation. Kabu will get away, and again, Nyx is off the map. Nyx is level 6. Sure, you saw he didn't have mana, but for all you know, he TP'd back and he's hoofing into the bottom lane. Very dangerous to go in, or could even be bottle crowing as well. So Ohio picks up his magic stick. We'll continue to push this middle lane in, and we'll see a teleport bottom. Lamb looking to make something happen. There's a sentry ward in the lane. They're going to spot Lamb and back off. Now they actually burrow, initiate on him. Soul Assumption. They try to blow him up. They can't quite do it yet. Net's the one in trouble. Eats an impale to the face. Now goes under cover of Sandstorm. Will be okay. There's going to be a burrow strike soon. Can he get out? He's graved up. He's running. Mushi giving chase. Kabu just kind of skirting his way out of here, unable to find a good engage, and all the while, Ohio's pushing in the middle lane. They've actually rotated the gyro down. They have call down soon. 15 seconds to go. It's not ready yet. Mushi's thinking about going in. Net's still alive. He's low. He wants to go in with about 200 HP. He's going to drop to the tower. Net with the balls of steel, but pays with his life. Now Mushi trying to duke it out, trying to keep his teammate alive. No grave available. Gets the heal off. KYXY dropping fast. In a hurry. Drops the call down as well. Not doing a whole lot. KYXY bottling up. Able to live. Turns it around. Sagam to fall. And are they done yet? They might keep on going. Lifestealer respawns orange. Fighting with no HP. The Impale narrowly going to miss. Kabu back into the fray. He's got the open wounds. He'll get it off on Mushi. It has the level 2 grave available. This is not an easy kill. They'll back off in the end. And again, they're still fighting without Templar Assassin. Ohio's like, oh, hey, you guys are fighting? I guess I'll come join you. I've gotten bored middle lane. I see lurking behind the tower.
The Rocket, I see. Oh, my God, he's so low. Just about like
yeah, here we go. Ohio's coming in as well. He wants Kabu. Kabu's in a bit of trouble. There's your cold feet. Trying to remove those refraction charges. He'll pop it again now. He's able to get out of tower range. Actually, maybe not. Kabu's still slicing away at him, but one melt shot. Another auto attack. Down he goes, and Orange Esports. This snowball's a rolling.
Yeah, there's just so many tiny nuances. I want to call them Rattlesnake. They made a ton of misplays. Just too many call on these engagements.
Mid lane. Luo in a bit of trouble. He does have a laser. He'll throw it off now, and Ohio will back off. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I just want to say that Rattlesnake definitely do not understand the hero. Normally, that they understand their hero very well. Like Clockwork, Kunga, all these heroes that has a lot of small nuances. Ancient Aberration, it seems like, and now Lifesteal with the nerf on the range, they're making a ton of misplays. And normally I don't want to point them out, but in a tri-lane versus tri-lane situation, you misplay once, you miss a kill. Like that Lifesteal for getting a rage earlier, you missed a kill.
I do also want to point out, maybe it's not just the heroes, but it's the musical chairs with the roles. Sure. Every game, Kabu's changing roles, and on the one hand, yeah, they're versatile, they're hard to predict, but on the other, they just don't seem as crisp as the execution was when this team first came out, where they'd always run Kabu on the clock, where he'd always have a clear position on the team, and maybe they're too amorphous right now, Lumi.
Well, let's hope that for their sake, they could kind of turn this mid-game phase around, but because you have heroes like Nyx Assassin, you have heroes like Ancient Aberration, the kills could pop out starting out of nowhere. It doesn't matter if you have Refraction, it doesn't matter if you have Gravekeeper Cloak. There's enough burst and sustained burst that Rattlesnake could still win some team fights and knock down some towers. But they really need to start picking up the pace. They're only down by 2 kills right now, but if you look at the gold chart, it's a 5,000 gold lead for Orange Esports.
5K gold lead, about a 2.5K experience lead. For me, perhaps even the bigger thing is just the levels they're getting up. MUSHI, level 6. He's taken a point in Weave, is leveling it up early, not waiting until later to do it. And they have a medallion on Extinct along with the Familiar. So now you're looking at a Weave that has Meld, and Weave is physical damage, so minus armor will make it stronger. You've got the Weave, you have a medallion, and you have Desolate. The amount of burst that a MUSHI Weave can put out is absolutely, or Shadow Wave, is absolutely insane. Not to mention all the physical auto attacks in Rattlesnake. No real solution for physical damage. They don't have any Ghost Scepters. They don't have a Pugna. They could be in
blind.
trouble. They have to avoid fights, I feel.
They have laser.
Yeah, that's true. They do have one solution, but laser is not going to help you against a Shadow Weave, for example.
Yeah, normally also I want to point out that Tinker, around good farming time, 10 minutes in, which is Revel right now, very far from that. Kabu's playing very far up. He feels like he could be safe as a Lifestealer. Right now he has level 1 Rage, and you could technically do a Rage TP, sort of. He's only it only lasts 3 seconds. He's very much so dependent on Infest as well as that Magic Wand to brick him out there.
You better have some fast fingers if you want to pull that off. I mean, normally most even pros will think about it for a second, then they're like, okay, I definitely can't get out. Now I'll TP. If you do that, well, you'll get stunned, you'll die. So we'll see what he goes for, but those Boots of Travel could be the key item they're looking for, because Orange...
Oh, they're going to try to set up a kill on the mid lane. The birds are coming right in, and Lamb's going to break out and try to kill a bird. He noticed that his Vendetta was running out.
There's your counter to the Visage.
Well, sort of.
Vendetta. Kill one bird every 2 minutes or so.
It actually doesn't even one-hit KO right now, so maybe you need level 2 Vendetta to actually do that, but...
We'll see Orange rotate towards the middle lane. They've got 5 heroes grouped up. They want to make a go with the Familiars, the early Medallion, now the Drums, the Treads on KYXY, and level 11. God, they're just so over-leveled. They're going to work on the tower. Will fall fast, and no trade in sight for Rattlesnake. The only thing they can really look forward to, the Boots of Travel and Tinker, will be coming out after this creep.
I mean, they need a Boots of Travel Tinker right now. They just lost a tier 1. Maybe they could have defended if they have a March Burrow
mid lane.
Neo, dead.
Look at the burst! Medallion, Shadow Weave, dead. Instantly.
Yep. Easy.
Too much.
I mean, the burst damage is a lot more impressive. Ancient Aberration needs to hit level 6. Has a level 6. What are they going to do with this level 6? That's a big question.
In theory, their lineup is so good to snipe. You have Nyx Assassin Vendetta, can move under cover of that without being detected. You've got the Ancient Apparitional, and you've got a Tinker. But, well, Tinker's a bit under level to really dish out the burst. He's only got 3 in Laser, 2 in Rocket, and Orange on the back of the early Medallion, the Dazzle, and the Visage. They're going Roche, and they're taking it in a hurry.
Yeah, this is absolutely easy.
This is masterful from Orange.
Roshan
I'm
looks
really
like a big
liking
ancient
the synergy
creep
here.
Yeah, he looks like a creep from the Ancient camp. That's it. Like, it's easy. Smoke up coming out in the mid lane as well. Lamb's going to be in big trouble. It would not surprise me at all if there's going to be like a 18-minute GG this game, because it looks like one of those games
that's going in. Burrow's there. The Carapace not in time. Lamb in all sorts of trouble. He's got the Carapace. Will pop it now, but the Familiar stunning him, holding him in position. Ancient Apparition all comes through, does a little bit of chip damage, but now it's Sagam on the run. He's stolen Burrow Strike. He tries to get out. It's a buyback from Lamb. They really want to take this fight. That's a decent impale. Starts it off the right way. They do lose the Dazzle immediately. Now Ohio in trouble. He's got a Yasha, but he's on the run. He's going to need every bit of move speed to get out of here. Orange driven back and able to get out. Now they turn it around. There's one melt shot onto Lamb, another impale, bringing net low, but the Familiar's maybe enough to turn this fight around. Kabu, oh man, he's in trouble, dropping fast. Look at the physical freaking damage. My God, that's too much. Now Ohio giving chase. Well, he won't commit fully to that. Lumi, a new age has been born, and it's this Medallion Dazzle Templar Assassin combo. This is filthy.
I just want to point out that he got one shot at a half HP. That's scary.
And Ohio doesn't even have that much raw damage. Yasha, drums, decent damage item.
That's actually not bad.
It's not bad for this stage of the game. It's not a Desolator or anything. And man, he just exploded there.
I mean, you gotta keep in mind that Mel gives you 200 bonus as well. So
that's
like,
true.
It is just absolutely scary. Medallion coming out from 1,000 cast range. That's the buff that Medallion received at this patch. I mean, all of these small buffs are really helping out Orange Esport. They took down yet another tier 2 tower. It was 5,000 gold before. What's go now? 10,000.
Yeah, I'm just loving the creativity in general from this team. Kabu just popped Infest. It looks like to farm or just heal up, so he won't have that for this upcoming fight. And, well, that's one of the big strengths of the Lifestealer. We'll see if it costs them. Ohio lurking on the high ground. He's maybe looking to go back in. The Familiar scouting things out. And for the time being, Rattlesnake just don't want to fight, Lumi. I mean, you look at the items coming out in orange. There's a point booster on
mid
MUSHI.
lane. They're going to focus on Lamb. Lamb's going to use this Vendetta, or Vendetta just to run, which is not exactly what you want to
And that's a concern.
Yeah.
They really need him to be initiating. Their lineup is predicated on the idea that Lifestealer, or rather the Nyx Assassin, just starts finding pickoffs. Hits level 6, finds some kills. He may find one now on KYXY, who just so happens to be right next to him, but it's only going to be the Aegis down.
Ice Blast?
Question is, will there be the follow-up to go for a secondary kill? We'll wait and see. Lamb lurking around the corner. Wisely not going to stand next to KYXY. He'll let Kabu come in first. KYXY has the cooldown, drops it now, but looks like he will go down to the burst. The cooldown is there. It's just not enough, but here comes the Cavalry. Here comes the Scorpion. Burrow from max range just clips Lamb. Now the Familiars, the Heal Bomb. The Heal Bomb again. Now a Burrow Strike stolen by Sagam. He's got it at his fingertips. He'll have to use it to run away. Kabu in trouble. Grave chilled up, taking a lot of damage. Burrowed and picked off with ease. With absolute ease. And now RNG Sports, they look to push in this bottom lane. A good fight for Rattlesnake. They do get rid of the Aegis. They lose 2 to do so, but and they get a kill on Gyro. I would say not a bad trade, but is it enough, Lumi? That's the question.
Well, it depends on how well Luo plays on the Tinker, because a well-played Tinker with a Blink Dagger should never actually die again. And
he's still got to farm that Blink, it looks like.
Yeah, he's got to farm it, and that's a big concern here. Once you have the Blink, though, you should not lose any more tower, in theory, right?
Yeah, and Orange don't have a good lineup to punish a Blink Dagger Tinker. They have the Familiars. That's it.
Yeah.
Sand King, no Blink Dagger. He can't really get to you in the trees. The TA, no Blink Dagger, can't really get to you. And should be able to just, like you said, just use the Blink Dagger, abuse it, slow the game down, try and find a momentum that suits your team better. But is Rattlesnake really built to play from behind like that? To me, I look at their lineup, and it's a lineup that really wants to be playing offense. It's not the best Turtle lineup. They can Turtle with Tinker, but to what end? They have a Lifestealer as the carry. How much will he really do as this game goes later?
Are you turtling to win, or are you turtling to lose? And
or to not lose anytime soon.
Right, and Lamb maybe a little bit trouble in the mid lane again here, as he's in close in from all sides. Net trying to Burrow Strike. Yes, he will get the Burrow Strike. And Ohio, Mel Strike. Well, looks like he doesn't even need it.
Just off in his own little world. They do find a kill top lane. They pick off KYXY, which frankly,
that's a good trade.
That's a better kill for them.
Yeah.
So they'll definitely take that. That's 2 deaths in the matter of 2 minutes for RNG Sports here. So both teams a little bit sloppy play through the mid game, but RNG Sports still with that commanding advantage. 15k gold lead, about an 8k experience lead, and looking at their last outer tower, they might get it just before the 20-minute mark. That is a massive, massive advantage. And oh, by the way, completed BKB on the way for Ohio. That means no more blind for him, no more cold feet, no more impale, no more spike carapace. There is really nothing they could do to deal with this TA besides run for the fountain.
Well, and guess what? You could grave him to BKB now.
Even the fountain isn't safe.
Yeah. So
we're going to see it. It's going to be a really interesting interaction. We'd see the double BKB, but, well, Gyro's been getting picked off quite a few times here.
Yeah, Gyro generally don't want to be in the middle of team fight like a Templar Assassin. Would be Lamb coming up to actually initiate. Send toward place behind and make sure that they could smoke up or do anything. Ooh, here comes Lamb.
Oh, Lamb's going to initiate. He's got net, but the burrow was there, clipped both of them. Actually, Cabo able to get off the ridge, but doesn't even matter. He's just being kited. Now Ohio charges in. This going to bring down Lamb. He wants some more. He wants a taste of Icy. He backs off. He says, I'll take Cabo instead, and look at the damage. He can't kill him, but he does so much nonetheless. Extinct, cleaning up left, right, and center. Now Icy dropping low. Ohio, second kill that he almost turned around from, but this time he goes back in. He secures it, and they're not done just yet. They want that tanker. They'll get him in the end.
GG call?
And maybe it is time to call the GG.
Well, they have Tinker, so they know they can hold, but there's a GG.
Wow. Rattlesnake, they get battered, bruised, and just beaten down. Throughout the group stage, they're going to finish 0-4 in Group B. This team, second place in the International 3 East qualifier, took down Vici Gaming to secure that. They're going to Seattle, but they are an absolute mess right now. Rumor is they're having some roster trouble. They maybe want to make a player change after the qualifier. Where do they go from here, Lumi? If you're Rattlesnake's captain, their manager, their coach, where do you start with this team? They had so much mojo a month or two ago. And for me, the big story is Orange is playing well, but I also just feel like this isn't the same Rattlesnake.
It really isn't. If to answer your question, if I was the manager for Rattlesnake, I want to say the Game 1 performance was actually really good. I think they outplayed Orange. They made some kind of mistake here and there, but that's to be expected if you're 0-3, for example, you're not playing so well. Game 2, it seems like they're like, oh my god, we're down one game, we're 0-3, let's just say, F it, whatever, and go with it. But to me, they did not do their homework. You gotta ban out Visage or first pick Visage. Take it away from Extinct. You can't let this guy. He's what, 11-0 now, 10-0.
Yeah, we even had the hashtag ban Visage. Maybe it'll be trending on Twitter at the rate.
You have to ban Visage against Extinct. He just doesn't lose with that hero.
People don't lose with that hero in general, but especially not Extinct. 11-0 is insane.
Well, Neo lost with the hero last game.
So for Rattlesnake, a team in disarray, a team that's struggling. But you look at RNG Sports. This is a team that's really improving as of late. They are coming into their own, and I mean, as well as they've played, the big challenge is ahead of them. They got to play DK with some significant stakes on the line, guys. That'll be your final match of Group B. It's not tomorrow, it's the following day. They win that match, they're first place in Group B, and frankly, I still would favor DK just because I feel like DK is the slightly more reliable team in the clutch, but hey, Orange did better at G1 League. Maybe they have what it takes.
I think if I could talk a little bit about that matchup, I think Orange matches up very well against DK. Because if you think about how DK wants to play, Burning, always safe lane. With AM, with Alchemist, these are not exactly some of the best offensive heroes. And guess what Orange pick? Offensive tri-lane with Windrunner, 600 range hero constantly harassing you away with Visage, SD, for example, and then a Windrunner, they harass you down, they get a ton of kills. It's hard to kill against them in that tri-lane. I think that's their path to victory for Orange Esport.
Yeah, and there's some pocket things that DK do have at their disposal. Things like the solo mid Alchemist. At times, Super has been out of his mind on that. Of course, there's always the possibility maybe DK goes back to more of their classic style where they get Super something like a Queen of Pain, even, I don't know if Invoker, maybe not Invoker, but sort of a dominant lane control, and they just look to snowball him mid. They run a very defensive tri-lane that doesn't die early, and RTK makes big plays. I mean, let's not forget, RTK has won as offlane Rubik against some dominant solo heroes in the past. This guy's a player when he's on his game. So
he makes as many big plays as he does with big throws.
Yeah, as much as I like to tease him, RTK, when he's on his game, is arguably one of the strongest, if not the strongest solos in China. So it's going to be a fantastic match. That won't be tomorrow. It'll be the next day, but
what do we have tomorrow?
We'll actually take a look at the schedule now and find out. LGD International versus Rising Stars. I believe this is your battle for third place, for the final slot to advance out of the group. Both teams, Kawa, if we could take a look at the standings, I believe both teams sitting at 1 and 2. So winner of that match, the winner of that match makes it out as third place. Winner of DK versus Orange will be first, and loser of DK versus Orange will be second. So Rattlesnake actually 0 and 3 now.
That's a big matchup. Yeah,
so 2 big games coming up the next 2 days, and well, LGDN versus Rising Stars. Who's your money on for that?
I want to go with LGDN. They've been picking pretty creative heroes lately. I've seen them pick, what's that snowball dude? Tuskar?
Tuskar,
yeah. I don't see that hero that much, and he's very fun to watch. They've been pretty creative lately. I think they have a wider hero pool as well. Lycan from Misery.
Yeah, they're another one of those teams where it just feels like they're struggling to find their rhythm.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at how they were at G League, where they were sort of the new kids on the block. They had a very different style. China wasn't really ready for them. they kind of were steamrolling everyone. But you fast forward to now, and they're a team that just hasn't really produced big results.
I don't want to question the players because I don't know them that well personally, but I wonder if they had the same drive as they had the first time they came to China, because they were scrimming against Chinese team and they were losing every day, and it was absolutely horrible for them.
Yeah.
But they picked it up, and they were doing very well for a certain time. Now,
is the motivation's got to be there. You're going to the International 3. This is your chance to prove yourself. You squeak into the playoffs here as a third-place team. So what? It's the same as finishing second as far as the playoffs format goes. You go right into the round of 6. You do have a slightly longer road, but it's all about this one best of 3 for LGDN. And I expect they'll pull out all the stops.
They have to.
Get into the playoffs, and who knows what will happen from there.
Yeah.
So Group B, very interesting after today's result. Rattlesnake, they're out, 0-4. Total disarray. Orange Esports looking strong. We have 2 matches. The first one coming up tomorrow is going to be LGDN versus Rising Stars, as mentioned, and it'll decide your third-place team. Loser of that won't be advancing out of Group B. Final match of the group, DK versus Orange. That's the one that I'm really excited for. Winner of that, first place in Group B, seeded directly into the round of 4 of the playoffs. It's going to be a doozy. But, guys, that wraps it up for today's coverage of the Dota 2 Super League. I almost said the D2L as well, Lumi, so thanks for that. We'll be back tomorrow, guys, with some more action for the Dota 2 Super League. Thank you all for joining us. I'm LD, he's Lumi, and for now, we're signing off.